Okay, so you work in a brothel.
Yes, in Nevada. It's a legal brothel.
Okay. By the way, Nick, the kick isn't working, so if you can just stop it on kick. How long have you been doing that?
I've been doing that, gosh, since, well, after COVID. I was there 2018, but then I came back after COVID, so like 2021. Yeah, so a couple years now.
And I mean, even before you were working in said, is there like a different word I can just, because YouTube's finicky with this.
Yeah.
What's it like? Is there a French word for brothel? Bordello? Wait, bordello?
I think there is. It's
What is a bordello?
the red light district.
That's a wine.
Legal red light district.
Bordeaux.
Oh, bordello.
Bordello.
That works.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to say bordello.
I like that.
Sounds like a
Bordello.
wine. I thought he said
I'm at the bordello.
All right, my intuition was correct. All right. So you work in a bordello.
Yes, I do.
That's how you should introduce yourself to
Yeah.
people. It's a little more vague, so they might think, oh, fancy.
And a courtesan.
Yeah, there
At
you
that.
go. So before your work in the bordello, were you doing that manner of work previously?
Yes, I was independent for some time.
Escorting?
Yes,
Okay.
and then before that, I was a dancer. I worked at Cheetahs, Spearmint Rhino, and then Deja Vu in San Diego. And then, the OnlyFans, and I did Playboy TV. I was an actor.
Okay.
That was real nice.
Is there a lot of demand for, I assume there must be for, like, you currently do OF, correct?
I do, but I've kind of changed it. It became harder for me to do it after that. So I think my energy levels, so I try to just do more of like a self-care one where it's like I send free photographs every day, and if people want to send a tip, then they do it, and I'll just send it, pictures and stuff. Before it was a little more detailed and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay. So how long have you been escorting?
Ooh, I would say, gosh, since I was 22 years old. I'm 30 now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know how many, have you kept count of how many, what's the term, Johns or whatever?
Oh yeah, I didn't keep count. I should have, but
if you had to estimate.
you know what? I don't know the estimate of that, but you know what? I do remember the ones where I was disappointed that they were like they fantasized about me before they met me, and the ones I remember, it was 8, and they said, "You did not live up to my fantasy," and I said, "Wow, like." I remember those.
What?
I know.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
So
I
you
remember
them. The 8
out of all those years
of
8.
your clientele that
Yeah.
they were disappointed.
Yeah.
They left a negative Yelp review.
Oh yeah, that
Okay.
happened before, and it feels a little bad because you're like, man, I gave all myself. It hurts a little bit.
Really?
Yeah. I'm really so I study sexual spirituality.
Oh.
I'm going to be going to an international school of temple. Yes.
Nick, can you lower it to like 90 or something? Continue. Go ahead.
I go to the International School of Temple Arts, and they have a sacred sexuality course, and it's on sexual shamanism. They teach Tantra, they teach all that, and I believe that when I really connect with someone and really, in that way, I'm giving all myself. So it does hurt me if, like, emotionally, if, I hear something like that, because it's like, man, I feel like I gave all myself, and that, yeah.
You're a shaman?
I wish.
Like for the Horde
I
or
wish,
the
but
Alliance?
I'm going to the international.
No, I mean like World of Warcraft. Like, are you a classic Andy or like? Because you said you're a shaman.
Oh
so
no, they have.
did you play Orc or Troll or
Oh, those I don't do any of those. I did play Grand Theft Auto when I was younger.
Wait, so do you get a sex shaman certification?
You can, yes.
Are you a certified sex shaman?
No, not yet. That would be real neat though.
Am I able to become a sex shaman?
You can. In ISTA schools, it's $2,500 for a week of the courses, and you can go there, and you spiritually, they cleanse you, they talk about your traumas and everything, and they kind of release.
So is there like a magic component? Like
I believe
like
so.
shamanism, there's typically like
Yes.
magic involved.
Yes.
is there like good magic and then dark magic?
Yes.
Like, is there dark sexual magic?
I believe there is.
Really?
I believe there is.
They don't teach that at the certification
no.
course, though.
They
Where do you have to go? Like Hogwarts, or?
It's the ISTA school. It's in Arizona. Well, they have them everywhere.
No, for like the black magic
Oh,
shaman.
I don't do
sex,
that
or
one.
okay.
I don't do that one.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. I'm
Okay,
a good
wow.
witch.
Okay, that's so. At any point did you ever have a PIMP?
I did.
Okay.
Yes. And
Good times.
It was when I was real young, and I didn't really understand the industry. I believe that I'm glad that I found the holistic route with the sexual shamanism, and I'm glad that I did find the legal brothels, because that just wasn't my style. I think I was doing it in survival mode, and now I'm doing it to thrive, and I really do it to try to make people feel good and to make myself feel good. So that's what I'm doing now.
Holy shit, dude! Thank you, man.
$500. Yo, Brian, here is the donation I was mentioning about from Instagram. I am never up when you are
Dude,
streaming,
thank you, man.
but I wanted to contribute something for your work. I like watching in part as it reminds me of my younger years in the dating world.
Aww.
Yo, P, thank you, man.
Yeah.
He's pre-submitted this prior to the show, so really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. Really appreciate all the patronage. You're a legend. We were messaging on Instagram, so thank you, man. Really appreciate your patronage here. So wait, just to go back. Okay. What?
Can I ask?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
What is a bordel?
Oh,
A bordello?
Yeah, I genuinely don't know what it is, so I'm just like kind of
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's a legal bordello in Nevada. They have many of them, and they're legal, and you can go there to get treated. Let's say that.
Oh, okay.
And you go there, and they pay.
Yeah.
Everything is tested. It's kind of like a adult film star, but no camera. That's what it's kind of
okay.
like. Oh, only people can films if they want for a certain amount. They can.
Oh, okay.
Do you live on
genuinely
the
just
property
didn't know
of
what
it,
was.
or is it like offsite?
It's on the property, but we don't live there, but we do tours. So they call them tours, where we come in for a couple weeks. Sometimes girls stay a month, but then they take off back home and go back. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I have a question. Do you still live in Las Vegas?
No, that's a dream. Yeah.
Also, I wanted to say I'm really proud of you for getting away from that PIMP stuff. I also danced in Vegas for 7 years, and I have friends who are still like stuck in that so many years later. So congratulations
Thank
for like
you.
finally getting out of that.
Thank you.
What if
Yes.
they're like PIMP? Like, what if he was like a good PIMP though?
There's no such thing.
There's definitely you could be a
No,
good
there's not.
PIMP.
I feel like
You know?
I outgrew it.
Okay.
Yeah.
What made you want to get into the industry? You said you started when you were 22.
Mm-hmm. I think that there's the time where I think I was in survival mode where so I had originally worked at a life insurance company, so I did have a job before. I worked at McDonald's for 5 years before that, but then I did life insurance, and then I did dancing. That was cool, but I think what happened was when you're an actor and your show ends, you get like this you get in a spiral. Like you're like, I miss my show. The show ended at Playboy, and I was upset. And so I don't know, I kind of became like lazy a little bit. Maybe it was depression or something, but I ended up connecting with someone, and I ended up doing these extracurricular things outside of the club, and one thing ended not well. And after that, I had a good friend. She is an adult film star, and she helped me, and she took me, her name's Paisley Porter, by the way. She showed me the bordello in Nevada, and it really helped my life, like so much.
I feel like the question is like, what made you start sex work?
Yeah. Like
And-
why did you get into sex
Yeah.
work?
Gotcha. I think that I was always very conservative growing up, and our sexuality, my mother, she didn't really allow us to be feminine, really. We had to kind of just wear clothes that were not feminine really, and if we showed like a little skin or something, we grew up real conservative. Like I would door knock. I was by like a Baptist, and we would go to doors when we were kids and knock and try to convert people, and so I would do that, and I would say that years of that, it was the experimental. I was like, wow, I could be sexy now. Like, what guys think I'm hot. Like, I'm used to wearing a suit. A lot of people used to think I was a lesbian, or they used to think that because I would dress in a suit every day, and I just would wear clothes that covered all of my body, and it was neat exploring that. Yeah.
Would you consider yourself still like religious? Like, do you feel like the beliefs that you grew up with are still kind of like with you?
I think they've morphed, but I definitely think that there's still an element there. Definitely. Yeah.
I noticed you had, I don't know if you have a Nirvana tattoo on your somewhere?
I did. I actually covered it up with.
Oh, it's gone.
Covered it
Okay.
up with a flower, but I did.
Oh,
It was
you
for the
used to.
band. I like rock and roll.
Okay. Wait, question for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Kurt Cobain walks into the brothel, but he's out of money.
Okay.
You still...
Not him, but the Joker. The Heath Ledger Joker. I mean, you
Wait.
got to pay something.
He wasn't in Nirvana, though. But,
Oh, okay.
okay, Heath Ledger you service for free, but not Kurt Cobain. Oh, no, but not even Heath Ledger. Heath Ledger as
The Joker, as
wow,
the
that's
Joker.
some dark shit right there. Holy, what about Joaquin Phoenix Joker?
No.
No, not okay, not sexy enough.
Yeah.
Joaquin, but Heath Ledger Joker.
Because the Heath
Definitely.
Ledger Joker changed my life. Just his performance.
Okay,
How
how did he change your life?
I wrote a song about him, but it's coming out next year. But just his presence, I think I was going through a real tough time in life, and just his presence, I watched The Dark Knight like over 200 times, and I would just watch it, and
Did you ever?
No, not to the movie, surprisingly.
Okay.
But I could see. I'm like, but I.
Okay. Sorry, I
Yeah.
derailed that. Okay. So
Yeah.
you saw the movie 200 times.
And it changed. It just made me feel strong watching his character, and it just, I don't know. I feel like that's like my strong character, if that makes any sort of sense.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
makes total
okay.
sense.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So let's just go touch on a few other people here. So, boyfriend 1 month, single, relationship.
She has a fiance.
Oh, yes, there you have it. So just as a point of clarification for those of you who are single, what's that really mean? You know? Because like, come on guys, there's a guy in the picture. For those of you who are single, come on, there's a guy in the picture, right?
No.
Zero.
No?
There's not. There's
None?
zero.
Like there's a guy you're texting, maybe you guys on a Tuesday at 11 p.m., you know?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Nothing?
I mean, there's people I find attractive, but I'm not talking to anyone, no.
Okay. You two? There's a dude in the picture, come on.
No.
Yeah, I guess, but I don't really want to comment on that too much.
What do you mean? What did...
I mean, F it.
There you go.
Yeah, so I guess some background. I was living in Vegas for like 7 years, and then I recently moved back to my hometown because of I had some surgeries, and so I have a thing for like guys in my hometown. So I totally am like hooking up with somebody in my hometown, but it's not serious, and I don't really want it to be serious because I don't want to be stuck there.
Where's your hometown?
Santa Rosa, California.
You have a thing for guys in your hometown?
I've literally only
Is there-
dated guys in my hometown.
But you don't want to stay there.
I don't want to say that. Actually, I tend to bring them with me to Vegas. I have an MO. I've only had 2 serious relationships, and they're both from my hometown, and I brought them both to Vegas.
We love Vegas.
I love Vegas, yeah.
Me too.
Wait, so okay, and just really quick on the... I don't want to linger too long on the brothel stuff, but maybe we'll touch back on it later. Given the type of work you do, you said you are single. You said you've been single for, 3 years now? I suspect that's pretty hard to date when you're prostituting.
Yeah. It's difficult because you're gone for prolonged periods of time. the emotional connections, and it can be real complicated for someone to understand. And sometimes it's just better to be like, all right, maybe this is that chapter of my life, and that's what it is.
Sure. Do you kind of want to be, like, throughout your life, maybe more like lone wolf, or would you like one day to find a long-term partner, maybe get married, maybe have kids? Where are you at with that?
So I don't have the ability to have children, but I've always loved entertainment.
Sure.
And even though I have worked in the bordellos, it's so funny, like little kids are on the age of, I don't really dress provocatively, like when I go out, like this is something special, like, but they always come up to me and they grab and they go, like they get so excited. So I'm like, oh wow, like I would love to entertain families one day in like Las Vegas. I have to figure out how. But I think that I would dedicate my life to that. And if someone was okay with me doing that, then I would definitely be in a relationship with him.
When you say dedicate your life, do you mean to your partner or to your current work?
I want to dedicate my life to entertainment, and then but not fully adult entertainment. Eventually, I would love to entertain families, like kind of grow beyond that.
What do you mean? What do you mean entertain families?
I would love to put on a show one day,
like
and
a
make
drag show? Or
No, not that.
But like entertain, like a clown? You want to be a clown?
No.
Like for birthday parties?
No.
What, entertain families. I'm just trying to think what, like for birthday parties, right? Bar mitzvahs? What are we talking?
So music.
Okay, you're a musician,
yes,
right?
And I would love to do like a really relaxing show. I feel like we live in such an overstimulated world. Like I would love to make a show where families could go and just relax, and that's something one of my dreams that I'm obsessed about. And so maybe one day it'll happen.
You play an instrument?
Piano, and I'm learning guitar. I just bought one yesterday.
Do you sing too, or?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, but do you potentially see yourself having like a forever partner, long-term relationship, marriage, that sort of thing, or? Okay. I mean, but it seems like you're aware that your current means of employment has been a hindrance to your ability to find, because it sounds like from your own self-acknowledgement, it's been difficult.
Yes.
Okay. Would you be willing to stop that work if a good guy came along?
I would think so.
Yeah.
I just think that as long as my entertainment dreams could be supported, because that's something real big to me, and I know they're expensive, because it's expensive doing music and entertainment. It's real expensive. So if that was supported, then yes. And
I do have a question.
Yes.
How do you see yourself, I guess, like maintaining like a long-lasting, healthy marriage when you're having sexual and emotional connections with so many other people?
I think that I would probably want to make sure that that person was okay with it. I would make sure that I continued to go to these spiritual, so you go up in levels with these shamanistic retreats. You can go to like Costa Rica. You can work your way up. So I would always keep it more spiritual. I feel like that's my comfort zone. If I start going out of that, it starts to become a little hollow for me. So in my own opinion, but I really love that sexual healing industry. I feel like it did heal a part of myself, and I hopefully heal others too if I, except for the 8 people.
I only ask because I feel like in a marriage, like it's more than just like spiritual and sexual. There's like a lot of things to like take into consideration. So I guess my question is more so like, how do you like blur those lines, kind of, or not blur those lines more so?
I think it would need to be okay with the partner. I'd need to make sure, say, how do you feel about me doing that? And they would already know like my story and that. And so I would just be like, if that's okay with you, cool. But if it's not, then I totally understand. You could leave any time you need to, and I understand. I'm not gonna have any hurt. I mean, okay, I'll probably have some hurt feelings, but but I want them to be happy too.
How many days a week do you work at the bordello?
So that is a very interesting question that I'm glad that you asked. Sometimes I feel like after I see some people that are hurting a lot, I can't work for like 2 days. I just can't get out of bed. And because I feel their emotions like in me. Sometimes I get real angry and worked up over nothing. And then sometimes I cry out of nowhere. And I know in the spirituality classes, they teach that that's an emotional transfer of that energy. And so sometimes it wipes you out and sometimes it doesn't. I would say I try to space things out probably a couple days a week there.
Couple days a week.
Probably like 4 to 5 if I could, but
Sure.
yeah.
Average 3 to 5?
I would say that,
Okay.
yeah.
How many people do you see per day?
I try my hardest to only see one because I don't like to mix energies.
Just one. Okay.
I do.
What's the rate?
Well, we aren't allowed to.
You can't disclose. It's
yeah.
Is it negotiated? Like,
it is.
is it on a per person basis, or is it like there's a flat rate?
So the girls.
Oh, it depends on what the dude wants.
Yeah,
Okay.
it depends. It depends on what he wants. If he wants something longer, I try to do time only. But for my sexual healing, I do not charge extra for that. That it can be in the basic, sessions. Because I feel like if I'm charging extra for it, it's not very spiritual. It seems very capitalistic. So I feel like, hey, if they come into me for that, I'm gonna give them that, and that's what's gonna happen.
What do you mean by sexual healing? Like, what is that?
So that when we bond with another human, especially like through kissing or through intercourse, I just didn't know what to say.
That's fine. That's
okay.
fine.
I feel like it can release someone's emotions. I feel like I try to take on those emotions that person has because I want to like take away their pain. Sometimes I feel like that's when I get wiped out if I feel like, whoa, I just took on too much. But then I just rest. Yeah.
Brandon Mel's donated
Brandon.
$100. Holy crap. Next person start talking, please.
I think it's interesting. I don't think we've ever had.
Me too.
I don't think
I
we've.
have a question as well.
Very interesting.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever had some. First off, thank you, Brandon. I don't think we've had like someone who's worked in a bordello on the show. What's your question, Madison?
Since you like to pursue, I guess, like intercourse in a spiritual way, I would say it's very much so also like emotional, correct?
Yes.
Do you ever feel emotionally tied to the people that,
Yes.
like in a very strong way, where you
Yes.
feel like you want to be with them, or is it kind of just like
I can feel
it's your
I can
job
kind of
in a
feel when
way?
they're having a bad day. And even when they're not there, like I can feel it. Like I'm like, that person might be having a hard time. And I just know it. Like
Do you ever like, I guess when I mean like emotional, like
bonding with them.
yeah,
I'm
like
curious. I check
in
up
a
on them.
relationship type of emotional way though. Like, do you ever see that with some of the people that you come across? Like, do you ever
I think it's more
feel
like
a certain way towards them?
I think it's more like human to human. Like I'm like, wow, like I respect this person as a human being, and they found me, and I found them, and we're in a soul group. Like this is happening. So
Also, do like you work? I'm sure you work with like other women as well. Doing that, do they do it like spiritually as well, or is it just kind of you who does?
some
it spiritually?
probably could.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That was all.
Okay. Hold on. Let's